still have an interest. By the time you get on the real boat and you're really engaged in that devotional service, the how, when, and why, I mean, they'll be known, but it won't be so important. And yes, all your possibilities are there. Is it the modes of nature? Yeah. Is it my karma? Yeah. Is it Krishna doing to it? Sure. Because Krishna's in charge of the modes of material nature. Krishna's in charge of everything, actually, when you really get down to it. And so you can't deny it. Okay. Any other question? I think.
I have one if
Okay.
nobody else does.
Sure.
I was wondering if you can tell us your experience when you went to Hare Krishna temple for the first time. We have some time. We could have enough time for that.
Who's heard the story?
Oh, here we go.
Not enough of us.
You say yes or no? Try to do the fast version. Okay. So, I came in contact with Krishna consciousness. You know the story. I gave flowers away. I didn't even know the person was. Came to my door. Anyway, that was some devotee came to my door and asked for flowers out of my yard. I just said, take them. And I saw them later on in the evening it was like state fair. And so I just happened to bump into him. And I saw him. He had a shaved head, he had a dhoti, he had a kurta. I didn't realize what he was. I didn't notice anything different or odd or anything unusual. I didn't know anything about Krishna consciousness. And then like 3 years later, like 72, Tamal Krishna Maharaj is on Rtadvaja with Vishnu and John. I don't know if you know that word. Anyway, about 3 years later, I got in a car wreck, and then I was walking. I'd been in the hospital for 5 or 6 days with head concussion, and so I went on a walk, and I was tired, so I went on a knock on a friend, and somebody I knew, kind of knew his door, and I was vegetarian, and they were vegetarian, so I just needed some water. And I walked in, and there was a pink picture of the Super Soul on the door, and I said, what's that? And they said, that's Krishna, Lord of the Heart. I said, okay, I believe that. And then we went inside, I had a little water, and his brother, whom I graduated with, and just casually, there's 600 kids in our graduating class, and I casually knew this person, and he had joined the Hare Krishna movement in about 72 or 73, ended up being one of the biggest book distributors in our movement, Manasutta, and he just passed away a few years ago. He had some rare disease, I can't remember what it was. So he sent all the books. So I opened up one of the books, and it said, animals go on 4 legs, they eat, sleep, mate, and defend. Humans go on 4 wheels, eat, sleep, mate, and defend. What's the difference? And I go, oh my God, what is this? And then it said, there is no difference. One is polished and one is unpolished. Human life is not meant just to be a polished animal, it's meant for self-realization and God-realization. I said, oh God. Now it's either deny it or live it. I mean, just that one sentence. I mean, it's just, you have to either deny it and just say, okay, I didn't read that, forget it, right? Or you have to do something about it. So then we started reading all the books, and we got beads from, you ordered beads from the BBT, we started chanting japa. And so actually my girlfriend said, there's about, I don't know how many of us were there, chanting every day.
Tell me your girlfriend's name.
Maya. It's spelled M-I-A. Some people would say Mia, but her father would call her Maya. Anyway, that's a classic. Is that my karma, or is that my Krishna, or is that the modes of nature? So Maya said, Rtadvaja said, geez, we've been doing this for a long time, maybe we should go to the temple and see what it's really like. So we all hopped in the van. 5 of us hopped in the van and went to Winnipeg. I'm from North Dakota, so it was like over the border and like hours and hours away. So we got there about 2 o'clock and then 1:30 in the morning we arrived at the temple. And a brahmachari answers the door. hormones in nature. You're really going to suffer a lot. So anyway, all this, I mean, when he answered the door, all he got on was a gumsha. Right? No, a gumsha. And this skinny guy with completely shaved head. Man, he looked like an alien. He looked like a gray, right? He looked like his grays, you know. And so he just says, men in the top floor, ladies on the second floor, third floor, right? So we went up to the top floor. We were in the attic. And it had sheetrock and stuff on the attic, and then the ladies on the second floor below us, and that was the office and the temple room. So I went to sleep about 2:15, and 3 o'clock, no, 3:30, there was a guy in there with a huge bell. I mean, like a huge bell. And the doctor waking everybody up. And I go, wait a second, no. We just got, he says, no, everybody goes to Mangalarti. I have no idea what Mangalarti is. Everybody goes, where, man, it's like 3 freaking o'clock in the morning. Where do you go, you know? You go to Mangalarti, I go, oh, whatever, man. So everybody gets up. There's one bathroom in the Brahmachari ashram. There's about 10 or 15 of us standing in the line, right? We're one bathroom. And Dharmapuran, if you ever go to Toronto, there's a very wonderful devotee. He had a stroke about 15, 20 years ago. He's got a little bit of one of those left side things, you know, where he's dead. He was an amazing musician and amazing devotee. And he's sitting there just chanting Sanskrit slokas, one after the other. And I go, what? I go, what are you doing? He said, these are Sanskrit verses from the Bhagavad Gita. I said, do you know them by heart? And he said, yeah. So I'm standing in the line, right? So I go into the bathroom, and you know, this is like after like an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes of sleep in like 48 hours. So I rinse my face, and then I got to do number 2. And so I go to the bathroom, and in India, I don't know if you've been or not, but a lot of Indian toilets are on the floor, they're on the ground, and everybody has to squat to use the bathroom. So in order for us to be Indianized and be like India, in America, in the Western countries, they took all the what do you call that?
Toilet seats.
All the toilet seats were taken off. And you just stand on it, and then you pretend like you're in India, and you squat and you plop, right? And so what happened is that I didn't notice that the lid wasn't there. I just sat down, and I got stuck in the toilet. And I'm going like, what the heck? I forgot to put it down. Jesus, there's not even one on here. What happened? Anyway, I'll buy him one today. And I'm sitting there like this. And then I go, I look around and I go, Jesus, no toilet paper. Hey guys, I need some TP. He's in the jump room chanting. I go, I said, what? I said, I just need some toilet paper. We don't use it. Oh my God. I said, what do you do? Use the loda. What's a loda? It's the brass bowl on the back of the toilet. I said, how do you wipe your with the bowl? He says you fill it with water and use your hand. I go, oh my God, this is next level, right? So then I said, okay, I can do that. Yeah, that's what I felt like. I made it. I'm out. I survived, right? I walk out the door. You're mochi. I'm what? You're mochi. I don't know what it means, man. You're not clean. What do you expect? I just took a bath in the toilet. And they go, no, you gotta take a shower. I said, okay, I'll take a shower. I go into the shower. My hair is like this long, right? I go into the shower. And there's no knob on the hot. This is what it takes. There's no knob in the hot, right? So I go, hey man, you got like a vice grip for pliers, the knob in the hot broke. We don't use hot water. I go, you don't use hot water? Hot water's Maya. Maya's in hot water? What'd she do? She boiled in also? I said, why don't you use hot water? She says, hot warm water is like the loving embrace of a woman. I go, oh my God, what's going on here? I said, dude, okay, whatever. And I turn on that water. You don't know how cold the water is in Winnipeg, Canada. Yeah, confirmed. It just barely breaks. I mean, it's just like next to ice. It's probably 34 degrees, you know? I come out. I run to my bag. I pull out thermal underwear, blue jeans, thermal under jacket, plaid wool shirt, and my jacket, and my what do you call that? We used to call them I put my hat on, hoodie on, and stuff like that. And then somebody comes over to me and he says, "You can't wear blue or wool in front of the D's." And I go, "You can't wear what in front of what?" I had blue jeans on, right? You can't wear blue or wool in front of the D's. I said, dude, I didn't say, dude, hey man, I don't understand. So it's in the nectar, he says, in the NOD, in the Bhakti-rasa Mrita syndrome, it's just like, there's no hope for me at this point. There's a note in there, one of the 64 regulative principles of deity worship, you can't wear blue or you can't wear wool in front of the deities. So I said, okay, so what am I supposed to wear? He said, you go like this. And I go, I don't have those kind of clothes. He goes, go to the merge barrels. Nobody owned their own clothes. All the devotees were in one barrel, all the kurtas in another barrel, all the socks in another barrel, all the were in another barrel. Everything was in a barrel. So I just went on. They had to dress me, right? They put me in a dhoti, brahmachari dhoti, right? We had a discussion the other day at Anand's and Siddharth's house about, what it means to be a brahmachari. We have this thing for getting it down. So I had a girlfriend on the next floor down here, but I'd been with for years, right? And so I'm sitting there, I go, what's next? And they go, we're going to greet your beads, we'll go to the temple. I said, okay, beads I understand. That part we've done, right? So I'm walking down the stairs, somebody comes up, you look like a slaughterhouse. I go, what are you talking about? You look like a slaughterhouse. I go, dude, I don't eat meat, I don't do anything like that. And he goes, shit, Bhakti said, I'm just Saraswati Prabhupada Thakur said that one is not wearing white, not good, like he looks like a slaughterhouse. I said, could you please repeat that? Shit, Bhakti said, I'm just Saraswati Prabhupada said one is not wearing white, not good, like he looks like a slaughterhouse. I said, man, this is really getting next level. Now this is like within the first hour and 15 minutes of waking up after 48 hours and no sleep. Right? And I said, I don't really understand that. If you could just tell me what to do. And he said, you need to do it. So they put T-Rack on me. You're calmed down now, man. It's good nature for you. Days are getting better.
Breathing.
You're breathing. So anyway, they put T-Rack on me. Then went downstairs and we had candlelight Mongol Arti, candlelight service, paper shade Gorni tie. The temple room was about 2/3 the width of this temple room, and all the girls were lined up on one side and all the boys on the other. So it was, divided temple room. And they're singing the Mongol Arti prayers. Nobody gives me a copy of the book, so I don't know what's going on. If anybody is a guest, make sure they get a book, please. Make sure they get a book and they can understand what they're saying. At least understand the translations. So then all of a sudden after that, I had a friend. I'll just add something to that friend's experience. After his first kirtan, they did the Prema Dwani prayer, is that correct? And it was Jayam Vishnu Paramamsa Pivaracharya Astatar Satashi Shimani Divine Grace Shalisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Ki Jai. And when he thought he said he died. And it was Ranvarnacharya Ki Jai. Hariyasa Kor Ki Jai. You think, man, who's alive? beloved of Krishna, oh Tulsi, beloved of, and also, here's a plant. Everybody's like, I'm thinking, what's this? And a plant, oh beloved of Krishna. And everybody, done. I said, okay, here I go. Down I go. I said, well, plants are cool, you know. I was really attached to one kind of plant, but that's So, anyway, so after sculpture, and Tulsi, and a few drops of water on there and stuff that, you know. Then it was, what did they say? I was relieved of all the sins, even that of killing a Brahmin. So I thought, okay, I'm in pretty good shape. So then, I don't know if you all know Shiva Swami. He was the temple president at the time. One of the heaviest, I mean, he's calm now compared to the way he used to be. He's really sweet. When he was a brahmachari back in 75, it was like next level. So, Dr. Bob, Dr. Bruce, you were next to me, right? He's got this really deep, heavy voice, you know. How many rounds you chant? I go 10. He goes, you're a mile. You should chant. I said, man, I chant for 3 hours a day. I got a job. You should chant 16 rounds. There's no excuse. So then he comes up. He said, well, let me watch you guys chant. So we're chanting, and then he sees I'm chanting. I'm going like this and then back. That's one round. Like this and back. And when we got the brochure, it looked like one round was like this. So I was chanting 20 rounds a day. That's good. Do that the rest of your life. I couldn't figure out how the boys could chant all the rounds in 2 hours. And it was taking me 3. And I wasn't even getting, I was chanting 20 rounds. That's right. So anyway, we're chanting away. So backtracked into the summer of 75 when we're chanting at our house. So we got the books, we got the magazines, and we read in the magazine that the pictures are the windows into the spiritual world. So our goal, we read in the Gita about samadhi. Right? So there was a group of us, we wanted samadhi. At this point, that's what we were going for samadhi. And we used to hold the picture, try to get it into the window. And so we were just trying to get into samadhi, right? And so then we're at the temple, and now it's japa time, so we're chanting. Bruce and I were right next to Shiva, we're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna. And so we're chanting for about 15, 20 minutes, and all of a sudden we see the dude like, I look at Krishna and I said, they made it, dude. Man, these guys are samadhi. There's no such thing as taking a nap. If you got 3 hours of sleep at night, that's what you got. I mean, these people were like sleep-deprived zombies, right? They're falling asleep during japa. Me and Bruce thinking, these guys have gone into samadhi. I said, man, they made it. They're in the right place. Even though you fall in the toilet, this is a good place for it. And then we're chanting for a while. Then all of a sudden there's this African American, or African Canadian, whatever he is. He's in the corner, and he's chanting japa, and he's banging his head into the I mean, he's not smashing his head, he's just banging his head. Bruce, what's up with this? I said, no, I gotta go see what's wrong with him, So I walk over and I go, man, what's going on? He goes, I can't control my mind, I can't control my mind. He said, well, sit down and said, you gotta beat your mind 100 times a morning. I said, man, it can't be that bad. You don't have to do this. No, So then it comes time for Root Puja. So we have Root Puja, and it's like, just barely like light out. And I think it was like October, and there's snow on the ground, right? And all of a sudden somebody goes, I think it was Shiva goes, time to purify the neighborhood. And out the door we all went. 7 o'clock in the morning in in like a neighborhood like Brahman Tirtha's house, around the block 3 times without putting on our jackets or shoes in the snow 3 times around the block. You can't go 1, you can't go 2, you got to go, everything's got to be in 3. Around the block 3 times, drums and carts, singing and chanting at 7 o'clock in the morning in a residential neighborhood, and back into the temple room. Right?
Morning hard now.
Yeah, morning hard now. Good fun neighborhood. Then we had the Bhagavatam class. Sri Brahmars gave at least a 2-hour class on men who are like hawks, dogs, camels, and asses. We spent at least 20, 30 minutes on each one. By the time the class is over, Bruce and I looked at each other and we said, we're hogs, dogs, camels, and asses. Then it came time for breakfast, and there was a guy, David Gary. I didn't know if that's a devotee name or if that's just like David Gary. I don't know. Anyway, David Gary. Anyway, he had a stack of Saturday is pancake day. The guy had a stack of pancakes on his plate. He had a plate bigger than this. It was about like that. And he had a stack of pancakes on it about this, and he finished every single one. To our surprise. And so then, anyway, during the day, they found out that I knew how to fix things. Don't tell anybody, don't tell Shruti, you didn't hear that. So I was fixing things in the temple, and they found out I knew how to make chapatis, because they got the Hare Krishna cookbook, and I practiced and practiced and practiced. So they said, make chapatis for all the devotees. So I did that, and then it was time for the evening program to begin, so I walked upstairs, and then I see Shiva Rama was putting on a pair of pants, and a shirt, and a wig. And I go, man, what is this all about? What is this all about? And he goes, I'm going out to buy jewelry for the deities, and the non-devotees are envious of Krishna. I don't want to make them more envious seeing us purchase jewelry for the deities. And so in order to protect them, I do this. I said, he said, you want to come with? I said, sure. So out we went, bought some things for the deities, and came back. I was satisfied by the answer. Of course, he was in my ear the whole way. He didn't use the needle program, he did the plow program. And then the next day, same thing, Sunday feast lecture. Shri Ram goes, we didn't go to the moon. And that was the whole Sunday feast lecture for the public. Prabhupada said we didn't go to the moon. Now, did he say that? Yes. Did he say that they may have gone to the moon? Yes. Did he say they could have gone to the moon? Yes. There was no absolute platform when you further study what Prabhupada said. Sometimes he utilized it and sometimes he didn't utilize it. It's just whatever worked for him at that time, place, and circumstance. And so then the next morning we're heading out back to Minot, North Dakota, and Bruce looks at me and he says, well, what do you think? And I said, well, this is either the right thing or this is the craziest bunch of people I've ever met. Oh, I forgot one thing. One thing, during japa, I forgot about this one. During japa, in those days, when you drank water, the cup had to be like 12 inches above your mouth. But otherwise, if it was like this, it was still considered contaminated. It had to be, what was it, 12 inches or something? You know, some odd number of So in the temple run, we were chanting japa, right? So somebody get thirsty. So now they had another loda, right, in the temple room. I mean a big one. It was like a 1.5 gallon loda, right? And it had a big, like this, and a big, huge, what do you call it? Lift? Like this. So the devotees literally picking up a gallon and a half, holding it up like this. Second bath of the day, right? Can you imagine, like, on the lips like this? The chances, like, the water's coming out of the lips behind. You literally have to hold like this to get into the workbook, and it's just like spraying all over the place. And somehow or another, I'm still here today. Yes.
Where's Maya?
I don't know.
But, like, what happened to her, like, that day? Do you have any idea?
We talked the next one when we left.
Okay.
We weren't allowed to talk.
Oh, of course.
And so what happened is that we actually ended up moving into the temple together. But we weren't legally married, so we still weren't allowed to talk, and I was in a brahmachari Jodi, and we lasted about 3 weeks. She came up to me and she said, we never thought about getting married because that wasn't my vocabulary back then. And so she said, look, we're doing the same thing at home. Why don't we just do it? Well, at least we can talk there. So we just left the temple. When I left the temple, they shaved off my sika. And said that we were in Maya. We were blooming, right? When I went to my house for a few weeks before I moved back into the temple, a few months later, we had about 20 guests at our house every night. I would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, chant all my rounds, cook breakfast and lunch, and then go to work and come back and cook for 20, 30 people and chant with a bunch of people. So we had a pretty good program going, but then it was obvious that I needed to be in the temple, and we had I don't know. Actually, she kind of went after one of my best friends. Maya got Maya. But anyway, she's a very nice person. Once in a while, I know where she's at. I don't know exactly how she's doing.
She's a devotee?
Huh?
She's a devotee?
No, she's favorable as far as I know. And but the other girl, the other two people, Bruce and Nina, they came. They're Nishinga. She's Nishinga and he's Varaha. They live in New Taliban. And Jodi was the other person that came with us. She married one of my best friends in high school. She was about 3 or 4 years younger than us. And I only have a few friends from high school I visit, and they're one of them. They live near the Laguna Beach Temple. So whenever I go to LA, they come to see me, and they're just so excited to have a friend that made it, and is a Swami in the Hare Krishna movement, and they come to see the deities. And whenever she goes into the temple room, tears stream down Jodi's eyes because she was a Bhaktin at the Laguna Beach Temple for quite a while, for many months, and she's still a devotee at heart. Jodi.
Sweet.
It took 25 minutes. Those who have already heard the story, sorry I have to go through it twice. No. 15 times.
You were very sincere.
I don't know if I was pretty spaced out, to be honest.
At what point did you shave your head?
Sorry?
At what point did you shave your head? How long did it take?
At what point did I shave my head? It was when I came back. It was actually I went to visit. Shiva Ramars tricked me. Because we visited in October, and then we went back. He wanted to go to Winnipeg. See, they were opening the new Toronto Temple and the new Detroit Temple. And so that was December and January 75/76. And so he said, I had a brand new van. So he said, I need a ride. Can you drive us from Winnipeg to Toronto? I said, whatever. So I go there, and so I drive all the devotees I didn't drive. They wouldn't let me drive because I wasn't a devotee. So only devotees can drive. Non-devotees, I was a devotee, but not a devotee yet. And so I was sitting in the back seat, puking out the window because I can't sit in the back of the car anyway. So we get to the Toronto Temple. It's like mid-December, and they were moving from George Street to Avenue Road, and there were about 60 brahmacharis there, because people came from all over. And I had 60 men around me saying, Shiva! Shiva!
Oh.
Shiva! Shiva! So when you got like 60 men hanging around you, and so I said, well, what the heck, go ahead, So they buzzed off my Goldilocks. I had one little gray streak back then, and so then I went home, and then we went from Winnipeg to Toronto to Detroit, opened up the 2 temples, went to Chicago for a festival, back to my home to pick up more of our stuff, picked up Maya, brought her to the temple, picked up Bruce and Nina's stuff, took her to the temple. Jodi stayed, she didn't come with. And then, as you know, after a month or so, then we tried it outside, but then it didn't work, so I had to be in the temple.
Arriba.
And my father, for all my college years, he said, "Why don't you get a haircut? Why don't you get a haircut? Why don't you get a haircut?" And we used to fight over and over again. And they came home with a shaved head. "Why did you cut off all your beautiful hair?"
My mom said the same.
That's the same thing with us.
My mom said the same thing.
Anyway, thank you all very much. Good luck with your summer trip. May Krishna bless you all. Prabhupada bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.